Hi, educators. Good day. I'm so excited today this opportunity to share with us on ethical issues surrounding AI, especially in Africa. I'm sure by now you know me. My name is Daniela Robo. I've been a facilitator throughout this course, and to bring it to a close, I thought it wise for us to have this session talking about the ethical issues surrounding the use of AI in education here in Africa. Um, I come from a background of believing that there is nothing one cannot do except if you don't put your mind to it. Uh, I'm an ordinary teacher, but I have been able to achieve so much in life um, by moving into it, just self, and I learn. I love to learn. And I must commend all of you educators for sparing time and even resources, okay, you got data um, and all. You put aside everything just to develop yourself. I must commend you for a job well done and for being engrossed in this training for the past 3 days. You're welcome, ma'am. I saw the need for us to talk about ethical issues surrounding AI because we know what's happening all over the world. AI is the song everyone is singing right now. And even though it has high points and advantages, so much AI has to offer, especially the education sector. One to the one that will push us, especially Africa, towards great development. There are also issues that I think we as educators who are, I call us creators, I call us change makers, and I'm not in any way undermining our power. That is because I know that whatever the nation or the continent produces comes to us as educators. So I feel the need for us to know about this issue so that as we begin to implement AI tools, work with AI in Africa, we'll be able to mitigate some of these issues that the developed world is facing right now. We have limited time, so I'm going to just go straight to the point. Okay. So you might be wondering, what is that extra AI I'm talking about? Okay, I'm referring to the development and use of AI, artificial intelligence, in a manner that aligns with our principles and values. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Is that to pursue me or to do something? Yes, it's not. So I don't go outside.
If you have any issue with hearing me, can you just unmute it or type it in the chat? Or else you can mute yourself.
I will not be afraid of marriage.
So, as I was saying,
you don't want her to get married
because
you would think.
Yes, I have to mute you. Sorry. So I was talking about these ethical issues surrounding the use of AI, especially in Africa. See that we are just beginning to have a feel of it. I believe that from the training, we have had a feel of AI, what it can help us do, and the future of AI in Africa, especially in education. So we have to create a balanced system for ourselves where AI systems not only enhance learning experience, but also respect and promote the rights as well as well-being of all stakeholders. And by stakeholders, I mean the students, the teachers, the society at large, and all. There are also encouraged. Like I heard Dr. Carlo Bray in the training group talk about his interest in developing AI apps. And I say yes, go for it. So when we're involved in also developing apps, we should also put the issue surrounding ethics, okay, into place. I'm going to be sharing a presentation. Okay. This presentation is sorry. Okay. Can you see my screen? Okay. This presentation is titled Ethical AI in Education. Sorry. Yes. Ethical AI in Education, fostering fairness, transparency, and equity in Africa. And the aim of this presentation is to explore the crucial role of ethical AI in education, focusing on ensuring fairness, transparency, and equity in AI-driven technologies for African learners. Okay? So that is why we are here. And I believe we're here because we are the change Africa is waiting for. So why is there importance for us to talk about fairness, transparency, and equity? There's importance talking about fairness because AI systems ought to be designed and implemented to be fair and unbiased, avoiding discrimination based on race, gender, or socio-economic status. And the importance of talking about transparency. Yeah, talking about transparency because the decision-making process of AI systems ought to also be transparent, allowing for understanding and accountability. No one should be left in the dark. Then, the issue about equity. AI-powered educational tools should be accessible to all learners, regardless of their background or location. Okay, and that is one good thing about these AI tools. The AI tools we have access to in Nigeria, for example, are the same with tools we have in Kenya and in other parts of the world. So there should be equity. Sorry. Next thing I want to talk about is the challenges. We have talked about some of these things in the class. Challenges in AI implementation in Africa. We cannot just talk about, we cannot come to talk about just the ethics or the ethical issues without talking about some of these challenges that cause ethical issues. We have infrastructure gaps. Yes, limited access to reliable internet. You all, I'm sure, are familiar with these issues in Africa. We have issues with digital devices hindering the adoption of AI educational technology. I remember someone in the group yesterday, Mrs. Mariam, was talking about how a device said she will not be able to download an app or something. So yes, we have some of these infrastructural gaps. Then we also have data scarcity. That one is not a new thing to all of us, to any of us. We know that Africa lacks comprehensive and representative data sets. Okay. We are poor at record keeping generally in Africa. And this sets a limit on accuracy and effectiveness of AI algorithms. That's why sometimes when you put a prompt in one of these generative AI, you see what is coming up might not be related to your background or your context. These are all issues of data. Then teacher training. That is one of the things that you build is doing. At the forefront, leading this move for teacher training. Educators need adequate training and support to effectively integrate AI tools into their teaching practices. Without being trained, teachers cannot see the need or cannot really understand what teacher training or what they can do as teachers. So they trust the need for teachers to be trained. Then cultural considerations, AI teaching culturally sensitive and adapted to specific needs and context of African learning. We know that as a whole, digital safety, very important. I talked about data. Most of the data we have in cloud, not of the African context. Okay, so we're talking about cultural contributions. There should be cultural contributions to stuff that relate to Africa. So next thing I'm going to be talking about ensuring algorithms and sorry, ensuring algorithm fairness. By the way, I just want to chip in here that I made this slide with Gamma. You can see it down here. I refuse to remove it. Just so that some of us that have not used Gamma, we know that Gamma can do stuff. Okay, that's why I to use it. So ensuring algorithmic fairness. We all know what fairness is. The ability to be just. Okay. We want, as we begin to use AI in Africa, we should be able to detect bias. Algorithms should be regularly evaluated for potential biases, ensuring fair and treatment of all learners. Okay. Data representation. Training data should be diverse and representative of the student population to minimize bias. If we want to minimize bias, then there should be a fair representation of student population. As teachers, I'm sure you know about research and taking population and representation of population. You can't be talking about Africa and just pick few students from maybe a particular country and say you have a good representation of the data. So data should be trained in such a way that it is diverse and representative of the student population we're talking about here in Africa. Then ethical guidelines. There should be clear ethical guidelines for the in education. That is very, very essential. I really encourage us as educators to be at the forefront for moving for some of these policies in our country for ethical guidelines. I'm sorry about this. So promoting transparency in AI-driven decision making. We talked about explainable AI during the training. Develop AI models that provide clear explanations for decisions, making them more understandable to educators and students. Then data audit, regular audits of training data and algorithmic processes to help identify and address potential biases. Open source platforms. Okay, these are all ways that we can promote transparency in AI when we have an open source platform for development. Okay, that will foster collaboration and transparency. Then, fostering equity and inclusive access. To foster equity and inclusive access, we have to make use of adaptive learning. AI-powered adaptive learning systems, you know what I'm talking about. We've talked about adaptive learning systems that can cater the individual needs of learners, promoting personalized and effective learning. So if we want equity and inclusive access, then we have to also promote adaptive learning. Then multilingual support. I remember yesterday someone sent me a DM from the training group and asking us, I think it was Khan Academy we tried using, and we didn't see a French class or French a possibility for him to set up a French class. And I was wondering why that is. It ought not be. It shouldn't be. Okay, we should be able to have multilingual support. We should be able to have multi-languages, especially for Africa. And we have different languages in Africa. We should be able to enjoy some of these languages, especially when it comes to education. Then community engagement, collaborating with local communities to tailor AI education solutions to specific needs. Then global collaboration. We should not just be at the background. We should also countries that can be collaborated with, sharing best practices and resources internationally to suitable access to AI in education. So these are some of the ways we can foster equity and inclusiveness. Then ethical considerations for data collection and privacy. I think this is a very, very serious area for Africa, since we know we have issues with data collection. Okay. So our government needs to put into consideration this certain policies, informed consent, obtaining informed consent from students and their families before collecting data for AI purposes. So we in our own little corner, we won't just say it's the government. In our own little corner, we need to obtain consent from students, and that's why most of these AI for education. Okay. So I will share my slide. So I was talking about fostering equity and inclusive access. We have learned about adaptive learning and training, and we have seen. Oh, sorry. We have seen that there are tools that help us. Can you still see my screen? Okay, so we have seen that there are tools that help learners to have individual and personalized learning, and also which is very, very effective. So AI-powered adaptive learning systems cater to the individual learners' needs of learners, promoting personalized and effective learning. That is one of the ways we can foster equity and inclusive access. Then multilingual support. We know that Africa is a place where we have so many languages, so we should be able to have a system or AI tools that support some of our languages so that we can see and enjoy this artificial intelligence the way it was to. I remember yesterday, one of the participants in the group reached out to me. He sent my DM that he tried setting up a French class in Khan Academy I couldn't find. I was wondering, it ought not to be. Just imagine if I want to set up a Swahili class or a Jaya or Yoruba class. It should be available. So these are some of the issues when we're talking about equity. These tools should be available. Then community engagement, collaborating with local communities. That's one good thing about AI. As long as there's data, and by data I mean network, wherever you are, you can access these tools. So whether in the local community or in the urban centers, you should be able to have. Then global collaboration. We should also be at the front line, not just at the backdrop. Sharing best practice and okay, I've been given a warning that the meeting is soon end in 10 minutes, and so I need to double up. Okay, so these are some of the issues we're having. And um, these are some of the things issues we are having. We have to rise to the occasion and save the day as educators. I always believe that we as educators are at the forefront of every change that could come up in the society. And for AI in education in Africa, I want us to rise up to the challenge and put into consideration all these ethical issues I've shared. Sorry, the video might not be very comprehensive. That's because of time. I'll see if I can do another recording so that you have a more comprehensive video on these ethical issues. But with the little I've said, I want us to begin to think deep. I want us to begin to think future possibilities. I want us to begin to see how we as educators in our little corner can come up, beginning from our little teaching, lecturing that we do, and then when opportunity comes for us to raise our voice on policy issues, implementation of policy issues, will be at the forefront. So I would say, let's develop ourselves. Let's continue exploring opportunities and possibilities and tools and all. Someone in the platform, Dr. Charles, I'll close with that, said he will want to be able to build AI tools, AI apps. And I said, why not? We all can. Me, that's one thing I believe, that there's nothing you cannot do, except if you don't put our minds to it. So I encourage you as educators. Go out there, use AI ethically. Remember, we should not be biased. We should also not allow ourselves to be over dependent on AI and AI tools. We should always remember that context is very, very key. Context, by context, I mean your own situation. You cannot use with the data gaps we have in Africa. You want to do a class, for example, in your little your local setting or community, and you ask AI for inspiration, and it gives you something that cannot be achieved in your local context. That is why it is key for us to be able to sit on the generative ideas we get from AI, edit it to our context. AI is just to store our creativity and just put a spice to it. But the ultimate one is ours. Thank you so much for being here. I don't know if there are questions or concerns. You can also share your voice. Thank you. Hello? Are there concerns? We have just about 5 minutes to go on this call. And I would like to close by saying thank you so much for pursuing your self-development. I hope that we will all continue to strive for the best for ourselves, for our students, for our community, for our continent, Africa. Thank you so much. If there are other concerns, I believe we'll continue in the class. If there are not, we'll stop you. Thank you so much for being on the call.
Thanks, Laura.